Okay.
All right. Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is
Hey.
Charissa with Carissa Marie and Be Free. And I have Miss Dominique with us today. I'm so excited to have her. I met her through a mutual friend, and she's just a beautiful person doing some big things. And it gets me excited to see what people are doing because it actually it's contagious, and
Yes,
everybody
yes.
ought to experience this. So, Miss Dominique, how are you?
Hey, girl. Hey. I'm excited. I'm so excited to be here. I want to make sure that we share this out live. Because I got some friends and family that just want to share in on our girl chat. So, how
Yes.
do I share it? Because you got to teach me how to do all this stuff.
They can when the broadcast is over, you'll
You
be able to hit share and share
okay?
it. I don't know how to do it while it's on live,
One live. Okay.
unless you just let them know. Get on right now to my YouTube channel
Okay.
or to Be Free. So if they want to get on to Carissa Marie wants you to be free on YouTube,
Okay.
they can be watching it. And then I love when they do that because I'm trying to grow that channel. And then they can
Yeah.
share
Well, give me
that
a
way.
second because I got some people who want to join on, so I'll share it. But I
I'm
think
going
I
to send you a link here.
have.
Let me
Okay,
see.
yeah, do
I'll
that. Send it
click
to
on
my
this one.
phone.
I don't have, my crazy person. I don't have my phone next to me.
Mm-mm-mm. You're so beautiful.
I know what that means, but I
No,
don't
just
because
email it to me. I got my email up right here.
I don't need my phone. I'm on my laptop.
Okay,
I'm about to
okay,
just send it in the chat. But
that's cool.
so and I'll do it while we're talking. But Dominique,
Let's go.
first of all, can we just observe the beauty? Look at Dominique. Look at her eyes and her smile.
Thank
Look at
you.
it. It
Thank you,
just
girl.
it's beautiful.
I love the support and I love the love. And like you said earlier, we did meet through someone mutual. But I'm so glad that we finally got to do this and connect because we talked
Yeah.
about it. Like me, I believe that you are beautiful. I love your spirit. I love your energy. And I love what you're doing on the platform just to have some free time to chat about just everything. So thank you so much for having me.
Speaking of everything, Dominique, so you are a registered nurse by trade, correct?
Yeah, I am. I am.
But you wear a few different hats. So
Woo.
I know, right? And that's why I didn't really know where to begin because I
Yeah.
know all the things that you are involved in. So what is your baby right now? I know that something is launching soon.
Yes, yes, yes.
So
So,
tell me about it.
yeah, so by trade, so almost 16 and a half years now, registered nurse. My primary background was in women and children, labor and delivery. And then I moved into leadership quickly in my nursing career. And it was more like I wanted to see the change in just healthcare. So I went on and got my master's degree in leadership and really began to enjoy like leading, motivating, empowering. All before all that came real popular, right? That was just kind of like my behind the scenes thing. And I really did that for 12 years. I stayed in leadership and I led women, I grew women. And then I just wanted to do some more for me. So that's where my new projects are coming in. I'm almost finished school. I never thought I would go back to school after I got my master's degree because I'm like, what? But really, it was the Lord. I know it's the Lord that had me do this. I'm working on my nurse practitioner certificate because I wouldn't do this. It's just too much time. It's just too. But there's a purpose that I know He's called me to. So I just said yes. And I just recently tapped into entrepreneurship. So that's my big baby. And it's amazing. And that other part of me is fitness and wellness. I enjoy indoor cycle. So with all of that, being a nurse, being in school, nurse practitioner, entrepreneur, and wellness, I'm just kind of like this brand of just power and motivation. And that's really what I've coined to try to go after in this next season of my life. And that's just kind of where we are, opening a Medi Spa. I moved from women and children to the other end of women. So like after 40, when we're like looking to get some wrinkle relaxer, some things are just with gravity changing, right? So I really moved into that in 2019 before the pandemic, and I love it. Service at its best. I love it.
I told you, we talked very briefly about it, how I entertained the thought, but you know what gets in my head is mama now.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm afraid to mention that I actually have these thoughts sometimes, because little things that people, and I'm 50, and things change, you know what I mean? Like things that I can tell, like right here, or like even right here, they're just more prominent. And I remember being highly offended when someone asked me if I'd ever had anything done, and I haven't yet. I'm like, no, I haven't had anything done. Just Vaseline and water. Okay. You know what I mean? But on real tip, I am kind of like, perhaps, it won't hurt.
It's taboo for our community. Yeah. Like it's taboo. And I'll say not until later on in my nursing career did I realize African Americans, we should wear sunscreen, right? Because it's like mom and them sent us to the pool and you ain't worry about no sunscreen, you just seriously. But now times are changing, and it is taboo for our community. But I will say one of the things about me and my niche in wellness and cosmetics is I want people to know that you can look natural and still, I think people think that exaggerated, the stars that are just like, you look like this and then 3 years later you look like that. That's a choice, right? So I've really learned a lot in the industry, just how to care for Black skin, how to consult, how to debunk taboos and kind of like those myths that you have. I've personally had wrinkle relaxer. I've had it across my forehead. I thought I was going to like it, but I didn't, because I'm personally so very expressive with my face. So when you get the wrinkle relaxer, it just kind of, makes everything just stay nice.
Well, it'll be hard for me because my coworkers love for my face
to move. So that's exactly me. So when I can't do like this, and so after like a week, right, when my stuff started settling in, I was like, and I couldn't move. I was like, ooh, I don't know if I like that. But that's what you go for. We have so many other modalities that I enjoy, but I had first time wrinkle relaxer, African American woman. She had it. She didn't think she would like it. Loved it. It's just waking up just refreshed. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely something for everybody, but it's that other side now of the age bracket that I'm
right. We can, and also we're living longer. We're just kind of like, everything is a little different for us. Like when I was growing up, 50 was like, you old. Like, and it's not that anymore. It's just not. And we have to take care of ourselves since we're living longer and doing things. And, we're still have a life. We're still youthful.
You're right.
As far as I'm concerned.
You're right.
But I have thought about Dominique, for real. I thought about, okay, so tell me this, because now you're the expert in this, Dominique.
Yes.
I got a question.
Yes.
So because I'm an expressive girl, I literally talk with my face and hands. Look at me. I have to put my hands down. I didn't realize I was doing it. Right?
Just do it. Like, I'm always like, hey,
So I literally do that, right? Yep. But well, if I were to do this, Dominique, would I be able to still be, if I just left this alone and like do something here with it?
Yeah, so that's a different procedure. So that's more filler, and that just kind of fills in the creases there. Totally natural to make that little imprint, that parentheses go away.
One of my things and I didn't mean to get off topic, but I kind of now I got to just pick your brain while I got you.
You got me.
My new thing lately, sometimes when I don't want to wear makeup, is I will wear a self-tanning lotion that has the SPF and all that in it. Because I sometimes just don't want to wear foundation, but I want to run out and not feel I just kind of whatever. I need
Want to
something,
look
right?
even. Want to look even.
Yeah, look even. So I've been doing that, but I can't. When I do that, you know the what you put on underneath your foundation. What is that? What is that called?
Primer.
Huh?
Primer.
Primer. It doesn't work so well when you're
Yeah.
doing that. It doesn't make sense. They don't go together. So I'm like, if I had that thing done,
Yeah. You would
I
need it.
wouldn't worry about it.
Correct. Because what I guess what you're doing is you kind of fill that in just a little bit, and it kind of
Yeah,
makes it not look so prominent. But when you get
yeah.
filler, you'll need it probably twice a year. You'll get maybe 1 or 2 syringes to take care of that area, and it'll fill it in. I'll actually send you a picture of a lady, and but
So
that's easy.
when is your show? So when do you pop open? Like when is a big day? And
Right.
I'm excited for you.
Okay. So the beauty in this is that I'm currently working with my business partner. She has a facility already, a med spa already open in Maryland, in like close to the Annapolis area. So right now we see clients there, right? And the spa salon is called Get Your Body Back. So go figure, how cute is that name? Get Your Body Back, right? So we are opening our second. Yeah, so catchy, right? GYBB, what we call it. So I've recently partnered with her and her sister, and we're going to launch a second location. Supposed to be December, but due to construction, I guess with all the parts and stuff being on back order, construction got pushed back. So we're looking to open probably after the first of this year. So that'll be the second location for Get Your Body Back, but my first tap into partnership and ownership. Mm. Uh-oh, where you go? You there? Oh, I see you.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what happened there.
Me neither. That was weird. You just stuck for a
You
second.
started spinning and you froze.
Yeah, for me too. Okay. I was saying, so my business partner and her twin sister have a location now in the Annapolis, Maryland area that's been open almost 2 years. And in January, after the first of the year, we're going to launch their second location, but my first tap into entrepreneurship and ownership in the top of January. So it's amazing. It's in a prominent area in the Bethesda, Maryland area, which is a really, really affluent area that does not have a body contouring med spa in that area. So it's like kind of like a little community. It's actually in the bottom of like a condo, a real affluent condo.
Oh wow.
So yeah, we've just been blessed to have an opportunity to go there and just kind of spread what we're doing, just with helping people get their body back.
So speaking of body contouring, I'm fascinated by that. Okay, tell me about body contouring.
Yeah. So the beauty in what I do, when you get service, there are a lot of people that are doing body contouring, and I don't, knock any of those. But the difference between us, you got to find your niche, right? Is that we're licensed professionals, so we know kind of the body, the science behind it, and they've just taken a different approach with helping with body contouring using medical grade machines. So these are machines that you got to be licensed to get. So they're going to really do the work if you do the work. So we partner with you to do things with women who don't want to have tummy tucks. So we have this procedure that we call it's RF radio frequency. It uses a heat modality to tighten the skin, reduce cellulite, and reduce fat. So all of this can be done over a series of treatments. Again, medical grade equipment. So you're getting top notch licensed people training, and it does work. And these are for people who, like, I have a client who's had multiple surgeries, whether it's weight loss, and then she got skin reconstructive surgery because she had loose skin. I don't want to go under the knife anymore, but I still have these problem areas. These are for those clients, right, who really still have some challenges for whatever reason in areas, and they just need some support.
Wow. So, Dominique, I just love to see, especially Black women, do their thing. It's like, because we all we grow up and look, and we're owning things now. We're doing our thing, and
Yes,
you are what you become, whether you like it or not, is an
Yes.
example for young girls or other women to kind of aspire to. Like,
Yeah.
if she can do it, I can do it. You know what I mean? And something else that you touched on that it means the world to me, because I've
Mhm.
worked in hospital settings and I know how hard it is sometimes for patients to be. So first of all, I have to just thank you
Thank
for
you.
you to be a advocate for patients, because especially us,
Yeah.
sometimes there are assumptions or things, and then or over people overlook things, and so it's so good to see us. I have to say, like, if I'm in a hospital and I see a sister or a brother, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, thank God.
Yes.
You know, because there's certain things I don't have to necessarily explain.
Yeah.
They just know. And so I just had to acknowledge that and just thank you that you chose that profession
Thank
for
you.
us.
Thank you. And it's funny you say that, because you reminded me of something when you said she can do it. If you know if you know she can do it, I can do it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to say I am she. I am she. So I have recently had to realize I am she. I was a teen mom. So for me to have my first child at 19, a single mom, to be able to matriculate with God's help to be where I am today, I am she. So I have to sometimes remind myself that. And when I thought about the question in the email that you sent, living the dream, and I thought about that, like, you got to find your fire and then just set that thing off. And the reason I became a nurse was because of my son. My son, who is 27 now, he almost died while I was giving birth. Don't know what was wrong with him, but just imagine being 19 and the doctor's telling you almost, your baby may not make it. And then there's a story before me being pregnant, and my mom basically telling me you're on your own. You got to figure this out on your own. So all of that coupled with, a child that's sick, and I watched the nurses, I watched them take care of him. I lived in Richmond, so that's why I love Virginia. Virginia is like my, you know. I had him at one of the Bon Secours hospitals. So the sisters, they take
Oh
care of you,
yeah.
of course. And my whole life was changed then. I was like, I want to be a part of that. If they can take this baby, he was in the NICU for two weeks, care for him. He couldn't talk. I was like, I want to make that kind of difference. And I did. I was working for Capital One. I was working before they were big and as big as they are now. I was with them when they were Signet Bank and merger. And luckily, I was in one of the numbers to get laid off right at the end of my nursing school career. I went to school full time, and I became a nurse. And I went to night school. I worked. I lived in a city that I didn't have any family. I had friends that helped me take care of those boys, and I did it. And then I got married, and then I got divorced, and then I got remarried, and then I moved, and then I kept going. I didn't lose the fight, right? So I often have to remind myself, I am she. Girl, you are she.
Yes.
So
Oh,
that's
goodness.
important. Yeah.
That is so big. And I didn't know we had that much in common. I was like you. My first child I had at 19,
Mhm.
and I was determined to prove all the people wrong.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It was like, number one, in my situation, when I had her, I grew up in a fairly small town, but my grandfather was a very prominent pastor, and
Mm.
everybody knew him. So we already got
Pressure.
a,
Pressure.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then there were all kind of issues. My in high school, my algebra teacher lived next door to mom and them. Pressure,
Yeah.
my aunt was she was a security guard at the high school, but nonetheless, I know after I graduated and then I just trying to live on my own, I felt a touch of, and I look, for
Yeah.
real freedom,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
But I wasn't prepared for the freedom because I was
Absolutely.
so sheltered. To be honest, I was so sheltered, and people not looking back. And I love mom and dad, and they did their very best, but
Uh-huh.
not. comfortable talking about some real subjects sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Talking about things, but around things, but
Yeah.
not the stuff I really needed to know necessarily. So when I got my Touch Your Freedom, it was all over. So anyway,
Yeah.
I had my baby, and I was like, oh, everybody's judging me, everybody's looking at me, therefore I'm gonna have to have 4 or 5 jobs. Okay.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not gonna be in the system and I'm not gonna have anybody tell me that I can't
Do it. Mm-hmm.
And so I feel you. It's like it was, and mom and dad were a wonderful help, but they were kind of like, you kind of on, this is you you
Yeah.
made your bed literally.
Yeah.
Therefore, so, but it was like, I can totally relate to what you, but I admire how you, man, because that's a lot of commitment. Nursing school.
Yeah. But you know what I think about, even in listening to your story, it had to happen. It had to happen in order for us to get to this point, right? I was, 19, living with my son's father, because, my mom was like, you gonna figure this out. And she moved to Boston. I was in Richmond, and then I ended up getting my own place. And I remember rationing out the meals to make sure I had enough food for Omari, because it was just like, I remember my rent was like $350. My car note was $250. And that seems like such a little bit of money now, but it was so much then, trying to take care of him. And I think, I don't know if I was necessarily feeling like I had to prove them wrong. I just wanted to do well for my son. Like, I just, we literally grew up together. Like, that's my dog. Like, and even to this day, like, major decisions, we now give each other, coaching. So, I think it had to happen, for me. So, cause no opportunity is wasted. The Lord is always trying to develop our character in different areas. So I definitely, I appreciate it. And my parents, they did the best that they could. My mother had me when she was 16. So she was 16. And I recently learned that when she had me, she was like, I didn't even know how to make formula. So that just shows you.
That's eye-opening. Yeah.
That says it. That's like a whole word, right? To just. So you know how to make, the bare minimum is just to feed your baby, So that let me know that was, I was a grown adult when she told me that. So it was just kind of like, oh, a lot of things kind of make sense. So I just wanted different for the kids.
But think about how I know my parents are proud of me, and I know your parents are proud of you, because what they did is develop a character to be able to withstand and to grow and to just flourish. So they did something right. You know what I mean? And like you said, it was supposed to happen. I think that's why I'm so passionate about women's things and all those things, because of my situation. And I wanted to make sure that my baby girl, what I'm saying, and other girls had a place to speak openly and freely. And sometimes it just takes, sometimes you have to talk about things outside of your mom and dad, because some issues are kind of like, I don't know if I want to have that whole conversation, but you have to have the conversation.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. That's so rich right there, because I think our parents come from a generation where they're not really talking. You know how our kids now, they're dialoguing with us more, telling us more about their feelings. But back then, it's just kind of like, I don't want to know how you feel. So it doesn't matter how you feel, right? So definitely the evolution of time has helped us, just raise our children different. And you can definitely see the shift in our generation now.
Yeah, when I look at my daughter and how she's raising her kid, number one, I'm just so thankful she survived me. Because I was I was a nurturing mother, but because it was just her and I for so long, I was a little militant. But we had open talks about finances at a young age. She bought her first home at 19. A whole different place than I ever was at 19. So, so we had talks about finances, about about how to keep yourself in check. Check yourself when you feel out of order before someone else checks. You know what I mean? You don't have to wait for someone to notice you need to be checked. You be honest with yourself, you know. So we had a lot of, it was a beautiful thing. Like you, I get it. It's kind of like growing up with them because we were so young. But I think that's why I love doing this sort of thing so much, because Dominique, after people see this, even though people are probably, let me just keep it real, it's Wakanda Forever night tonight.
I know. I know.
I was kind of like,
okay, we got replay.
They're gonna see it again, and you know there will be someone to say what was talked about aided me in some way, grew me in some way, something, and that just makes, I mean, that just makes it all worth it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, you know, you made me think about something just now with talking about when I was talking about my mom, thinking about my mom rather. I think sometimes, even me, I've done this. We expect so much. I think we expect now of our parents back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they could have done things the way we do it now, like, would I have done things different? You know, da 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 da. Because like when you said your daughter got her house at 19, so like I got my first house at 20 by help of my mother, like pushing me, and she was militant. So again, that must have done something well for me, right? Even though I may not have seen that it was good at the time, right? Whatever she did, it was her absolute best, right?
Yeah.
But it put something in me. It lit a fire in me that made me want to do some things. It just made me think about that when you said, you know.
Here's how when you know it works, Dominique. Well, my daughter, she parents the opposite of me though. It's crazy. Yeah. She's like a flower child, and like she's the perfect parent. Are you? She is a flower. You gotta meet her. She's just the sweet. She's very knowledgeable and very wise for her age. Well, now she's 29, but she's very patient. I wasn't as patient. She's very patient.
Ooh, this is so good.
She could be a teacher, but she's doing other things, and she talks like this, and she wants to make sure that she's gentle and caring with her words. I wasn't as caring with her words. I'm better now that I've done it again. You know what I'm saying? But it's funny how she turned out. But when she went to boot camp, this is what I was getting at. She went to boot camp, Dominique, and she wrote me this letter. I am not gonna cry on my live. Oh. She wrote me this live. I'll just keep it short, but it basically said, "Mom, I know you thought I wasn't listening to anything you said to me, but I learned all your lessons. I heard you, and I just want to say thank you, and I love you." What? That's all you want to know as a parent, that you didn't mess up completely. You know what I mean? Like,
I might have to send that to my mom. I haven't talked to her.
You would make her
over a year. I haven't talked to her in over a year, so that's a whole conversation.
Yes.
I think sometimes those things get in the way, like what you just said. That's why this was so rich. Like, so this is like helping me because, that's good. That's good, girl.
Yeah, time is just not
our friend.
Is not promise.
Yeah. So I read something one day. It said that there are 7,000 promises in the Bible, but tomorrow is not one of them. And that was good to me, right? 7,000 promises in the Bible, but tomorrow is not one of them. So even the Bible doesn't promise you tomorrow. So I am working on that. I really am. I'm working on that. But yeah. But I do thank her for I do. I thank her, and I'm still learning how to appreciate that in whatever way it came. How about that?
I mean, me too. And I because my mom, it's so funny, and she's mamas are different with their babies than they are with everybody else. Okay. Yes. Now I hope Mom, I love you. I love you, Mommy.
Yes. We love you, Mom. We're just being real.
but what I'm about to say might get me in
Yeah.
trouble. But she's like, so, and it's funny because she's barely 5 foot, but I still be scared of my mama, okay?
Yeah.
And she's 800 miles away. But I think
I love it.
that I've watched her evolve too into
Mhm.
a more open person. And it's amazing for that generation. We touched on it a little bit for that generation to kind of like, it's a little different for them too, because they realize, okay, I have children, I have grandchildren. They're not raised, they're just going to be different. So I have to open my mind and my heart to a whole new way of thinking. And sometimes when I'm, talking to her and she says something, I'm like, dang, my mama get it. She
Get
somehow
it.
evolved. Like,
See? But then you've just given me
amazing.
hope. You've just given me that, like, that's actually the encouragement that I need, that there is opportunity for a shift, because that's really
Sure.
what I've been praying for. Because I'm just like your daughter. Like, I'm like all patient with, with the
Yeah.
kids. There's no, no curse words to them yelling. It's none of
Yeah.
that. We're gonna sit down, we're gonna talk about this.
Yeah.
It's so different. It's so different.
But,
That's
that's why you're supposed to be on this line. But the
yeah,
crazy
that's
thing
what I'm
was,
saying.
it
That's what
all
I'm
worked
saying.
out. That's why I love
So
you.
divine.
It's always a surprise, Dominique, what we
Yeah,
think we're going to be talking about, and then our hearts lead us someplace completely
different.
different.
Mm-hmm.
But I think too, and just to give you some, because I feel you now. Like I
Yeah,
feel all of this in you. But
yeah,
I have to say that as when the women get older, and that's going to be us too, they want to be more open. They
yeah,
may not even vocalize it, but they do, and their ears are softer to ply
yeah,
now than it
yeah,
was 20 years ago or 30 years
yeah.
ago. It just is.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that. I remember one of the conversations I had with my mom was, she was like, "Wow, it seems like you're the parent now," and I was like, "Oh,
That
so
was big.
I was, and yeah, it's and I'm the only child, so I'm her only child, so it's
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm her only child, but and when I had my daughter, I was like, because I was like, I want all boys. And when I got that daughter, I'm like, oh my God. But she's truly the best thing. She's helped me learn how to be patient and how to be more open, with dialogues. Because sometimes when you have fractured relationships with your parents, you don't know how that's going to take you in life, right? It could
Yeah.
be you don't know the impact, right? So
Mhm.
it's just I thank the Lord that He just continues to just work on families, because that's really what's been attacked during this pandemic. Let's be honest. I know so many people that have, either lost their relationship or family or whatever. So you're right. Time is of the essence. So
How old is your daughter, Dominique?
she's 12.
I have a 12-year-old daughter. Daughters are different.
Yeah,
I'll
daughters
just
are
say
different.
that.
So the young men, 27, 23, and then 12. So 12 is
Aw,
my daughter. So two young men and a daughter. And then I had
wow.
two bonus children, one and a two and almost three grandchildren.
I have two grandchildren.
Yeah.
I still have a hard time saying grand. I'm Mimi. All right. I'm
I'm
Mimi.
Gigi.
You're Gigi.
I'm
Hi, Gigi.
Gigi. I'm Gigi. Yes, I'm
I'm like,
Gigi.
I don't know why. Like, I had a hard time. They were married, but it was like, I wasn't ready. Again,
Really?
I feel young,
Yeah,
so I
me
was
too.
kind of like, I'm
Me
like, Mimi.
too. I'm like 45 with almost three grandchildren. So I'm like,
Yeah.
but Gigi sing,
Gigi's, yeah, that's cute.
I like that.
Yeah, when I get with them on the phone, I will. I'm old school still, sorta, and you and I have had discussions about my cell phone, girl.
Uh-huh.
I got issues, but like,
Grandma. Yeah.
so my husband wants me to get an iPhone. I refuse to get an iPhone because I'm like my Android works perfectly fine. I love my Android, and
Yeah.
plus, like if a battery goes bad, I can go get a whole battery by myself without
Yeah.
plugging in or whatever. But
Yeah.
anyway, but I don't have what is it called that they do on iPhone? I sound old when I just say this.
FaceTime.
Thank you. I don't. So I had
FaceTime.
to do Duo. So
Yeah,
I called them up on Duo, and they're like, "Hey, Mimi," and it just makes my heart smile. I'm like, "Hi, It's just so weird. It is a
Yeah.
different kind of love.
It's a different kind of love.
It's
It's a
different.
and you know, these are my bonus children, children that I get to see. So when my daughter has them or my sons have them, I know it's going to be just as joyful. But it is like something about those grandkids when they come. We like my last grandson. He comes here like for a week or a week at a time, and it's just so enjoying. You know what I'm saying? It's just to see that little being around, and you're like, okay, I know how to do this now. I done did this before. You know, I done had practice.
No.
I love it.
I miss that being around. That's the only thing I hate about. We have the military life still. I mean, Michael's retired.
Yeah.
So he's out, but they're not. So they hop around, and so now they're in Ohio, but we're here. It's
Yeah.
just in Virginia. So I don't get to like. And in fact, my kids never really got to experience my mom and dad like I would have liked them to, because we're all over the place.
Yeah. And that's like me. I didn't grow up with like my grandparents like hanging out or going to, it wasn't like that type of thing. So having your kids experience that, it's like you just want that. You just want that. That experience. And that's why I enjoy, my husband, he has a large family. So typically most of our things we do with his family because they are that family. But being like a single mom with a only child, it was just kind of like us. So it was just like, oh, y'all do this for Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that. So like now all these traditions I've learned and had to make of my own. So it's like pretty cool, right? Like the whole
nice. Yeah.
So we're actually going to Charlotte. My middle young person, Zion, he lives in Charlotte. He just moved to Charlotte. So we're going to be spending Christmas with him. He's hosting Christmas for us. So I'm like, adulting.
We're hosting. I know. Isn't that crazy?
He is hosting. He was like, Mom, I got my tree.
That's big.
He done got his tree already. He was like, well, it's only one bedroom, so we might got to use the blow-up mattress. He's like coordinating. I'm like, I just love it.
Oh, that's grown. That is adulting.
It is adulting.
Hosting a holiday. That's
hosting a holiday. That's what I said. He just moved in just first time living on his own, because he was in college and he played basketball. He graduated from Howard. He played basketball at Howard and then went to Fayetteville and played basketball there and then decided to go to Charlotte. So.
Oh, look at you, Mama. You did good.
And I have to, when you go through Virginia, my son, Omari, he is a manager of food services at the Richmond International Airport. So if you ever go through there, let me know because he will make sure you are taken.
I will be going through there in February because I'm trying to figure out, actually, I'm looking over here because I'm trying to find our links. I want to put the link down there. But I may be, my husband and I are trying to decide, do we want to drive to Michigan in February because my dad is turning 80 and we're going to have a big special thing for him he doesn't know about. And he's not on Facebook, so he still won't know. But but those plane tickets are a trip when you start adding like 4 or 5 people and stuff. It's like, so I don't know what we're going to do. But then again, I don't really want to drive that. I'm not feeling it anymore like I used to.
That's a far drive.
Yes, it's not fun. And now we're not old, but older. I don't do dirt driving anymore. I mean, I do it, but I prefer not to.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is I'm conflicting because when I would hit the road back in the day, that's when I preferred to drive, is at night because everybody's sleeping and all that. But my eyes say, look, Mama, we ain't spring chicken. We can't do it like that. You know what I'm saying? And then my husband, girl, he's so funny. If I were to let him, he would take the back roads to any and everywhere, even Michigan. I'm like, oh, we will not be doing that.
Yeah.
So we will get there days and days late. So I have to compromise. I'm like, we'll drive for 5 hours or 6 hours and somewhere and then get up. But it's a whole thing.
That's fun. Yeah, that'll make it fun. Break it up like that.
Yeah. It will be fun. Before we go, I have got to get this in there at least because.
Yeah. And then I'll give you the website because whenever you're up this way, I should say, you need to come and visit. And any of your friends up this way, you need to tell them to come on. Because again, we one-stop shop. We have everything and just the experience. So a group of women who love caring for women and a few good men that come through there.
Oh my
So
goodness. You about
yeah,
to talk me into doing something I never thought I would do.
you gonna come. I'll take great care of you. I will take
I'm
great
so
care.
nervous and I'm so
It's
scared.
nothing to be nervous about. It's just it's
I have to be able
rejuvenation.
to make crazy faces.
You will. It's
I will.
rejuvenation. It's like a pop. You know how like when you first put your makeup on, it's just gonna be like that all the time.
Oh, I got a question for you. Okay, so on a whole nother crazy
Yeah,
subject, but
yeah.
so have you heard of? Okay, I'm sure, but you've heard of tan touring.
Tan
Tan.
jewelry.
That's
No.
when you contour your face with like I'm posting this thing. You can contour your face with self tanners.
No.
Meaning, okay, so like I would get a darker self tanner to put here or around wherever I wanted to contour.
Contour. Okay.
But over in Europe, but I'm not really feeling the drive. Over in Europe, they've taken it a whole nother level. They have contouring with they're using really it's really like permanent makeup. But it's not like so let's say somebody
Probably like
has
a pen. It's like
huh?
a pen. Is it like a pen or something?
I think it
Okay.
is, but it's not like a big like a line. They actually blend it. Whatever they do, it's beautifully done, and they contour it like you had makeup. They like
Mhm.
contour your nose, contour your cheeks, or whatever you're doing. But I haven't seen anything over here in the States.
No, that means tell me the name of it again. I'm gonna write it down.
Yeah, I would be so interested in. I mean, I'm gonna send you some information on it.
Yeah, send it to me. Let me see. Let me see what it is. But that what we would do is filler for that. So filler
Okay.
kind of gives you that plump here. Like it kind of will make this go up like this
Mm-hmm.
because it gives you volume here.
And the
Um,
crazy thing is, like, so I have a lot of cheeks already. Like, I don't need no more cheeks.
mhm.
My cheeks get on my nerves. In fact, I like sometimes.
Beautiful.
Listen, like, this is gonna sound so shallow.
No
Okay,
body shaming. If it's body shaming, I'm not listening.
what I'm about to say. So, I am not a big person, right? But whenever I take pictures and I do a full smile, all you see is this.
I love it.
My driver's license from high school. It's so funny. I was barely 100. I'm probably 90 pounds. I don't think I was hardly any. I was a bit like in high school. But when I took my driver's license,
Picture.
you couldn't tell because of all the cheek. It's like it's just too much.
No, it's beautiful. People pay to get those. So
I can't give them
deal
away.
with, deal with it. You're beautiful.
Mm.
And that's all you need to know.
This
Uh,
was so much fun.
it
I'm so
really
glad we
was.
finally connected. I think we
Me
ought to
too.
do this again and talk,
Anytime.
especially when you are in January.
Yeah. Yeah. Anytime.
For
Anytime.
sure.
We post on, well, of course, we have social media. Instagram is GYBB Wellness Center. So, again, it's a wellness center and Medi Spa again in Maryland. And it's right outside of Annapolis. It's called Edgewater. And then the next location will be open in Top of the Gear in Bethesda, Maryland, like right outside of Mazda Gallery. And wellness, Medi Spa, weight management. My business partner, she have just released over 30 pounds in 6 months. We have a medically managed weight loss program that she is rocking out. She is being the brand for weight loss on our platform. Yes. You have to check out our website. Check out our website.
I
And
need that in my life.
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We
Because look,
we can mail product.
my son walks behind me and he does this to me.
Oh, yeah. So we got all sorts of stuff. I have it's a procedure we do called liquid lipo. Liquid lipo removes fat from anywhere. It's the alternative to medical lipo, right? So we inject it like in your arms, wherever, small little injections over a series of weeks, and it body chisels. So and you end up excreting it out. So it's FDA approved for that. And again, this is all medical stuff. So it's not just anything. And it worked. So I got it. I did it on my little pouch, a little pouch down here I couldn't get rid of. 3 rounds of
I got
treatment,
one.
and it's gone.
But you know what makes this more, make me feel good about this is you're an actual nurse. Because you know
A
how
whole
many
nurse.
of
I'm a
these
whole nurse.
businesses
Yes.
are opening up that are not actual.
That's kind of like what I'm saying is that's our niche. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna get the top of the licensure. Like my business partner, she's actually working on her doctorate, so she'll be doctor. I'll be nurse practitioner. We got a nurse. We have. I mean, it's like we've taken this serious. We are,
Yeah.
professional people. Not and again, that's not to knock anybody who doesn't. But there's some people that look for a level of expertise and a level of excellence. So when you
Mhm.
come to us, you can assure that you'll get that. So
I mean, and that's important right now. You want to feel safe because there's so many
yes,
places that are doing not such a bang up job health
right,
wise because they don't have the knowledge to really
absolutely.
equip.
We had this client that came, she came for weight loss, and I know you've probably heard of a medicine called phentermine. So phentermine is for weight loss,
What is
and
it called?
it's called phentermine, and
Ooh.
it's for weight loss, right? But you can only take this for like a certain amount of time because it's bad on your heart. When this lady came and told me, girl, that wherever she was going, they told her that she can take it indefinitely. I'm like, no, like that's the part that just bothers because people want to lose weight, so they're gonna pay. And I'm like, no, no, no. And she was like, she didn't know. Then only reason why she ended up coming to us because we were a little less expensive.
Mhm.
But here you got providers, and we're going through her history. Like we're doing blood pressures, we're taking vitals, we're looking at your labs. It's not just like you come in this clinic and then we're gonna give you this money, this medicine, and you take your money. No, we're really helping you
Wow.
on the wellness journey. So
That's really not, that's a plus, 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 because that's
yes,
what we need out here.
right. We want, how many people are getting things happen with surgery, like one of my favorite artists, Homegirl Spice, they were saying she just had some type of issue. I don't know if it was from surgery, but people are doing things are happening because people are doing things that you think you can watch YouTube and figure it out. Like some things are okay for YouTube, but not everything.
Yeah, I've seen, and people are doing their own eyebrows. I
Yeah.
can't lie. I cannot lie because I think of myself as pretty good when it comes to makeup.
Yeah.
And I had not so good experience when someone else did my eyebrows.
Yeah.
So I'm chocolate. Okay, I am brown skin, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to use a brown. I mean, and I know that it lightens up. I said, so I want to be able to see my eyebrows.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. Like
Yeah.
I want to see them. Oh no, it's gonna be and sure enough, when I went for a re checkup, it was kind of light, and so she darkened them. Now, fast forward a few years later, I'm like, okay, I'm going to give it a shot again. Now she knows me, knows what I need, and I made the mistake. I shouldn't say this of going back to I didn't say the name of the business. Of
Yeah.
going back to them, and it's like she couldn't remember what I had said, but maybe you ought to take some notes and have a file or something. And
Yes.
so she did the same thing and was insistent. And shame on me. I should have been a better advocate for myself. She's like, oh,
Yes.
she was like, this is a dark, this is a brown black. I said, okay, I'm just saying, I don't do black, but I'm telling you, it's just not. And sure enough, it just wasn't. And then one was kind of kooky, so I'm waiting for them to fade out so I can go
So you can get it redone.
by somebody else.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
thing. But people be doing it. People
They
do them
do.
themselves. Oh, that's what I did do mine myself one time,
How
and the shape was, and it's very painful on myself.
Leave it to the professionals.
It was very painful, and I will leave it to the professional. But because I was doing it on myself, and because the pain, and I had the numbing cream, but it wasn't
Yeah.
numbing deep enough. Like if I'd gone to someplace professional,
Professionally.
it didn't stay very long because I couldn't go as deep as I should have. But the shape
Yeah.
was beautiful, but it didn't stay long. I was like, okay, I learned my lesson. I'm gonna have to just go pay somebody that I trust to do this. But
Some things you just gotta like farm out and let other people do
yeah.
it. Like seriously, some things we can handle, and that's that self-care that
Yeah.
just gotta really make time. And that Oh, you just reminded me. And regarding self care, there are so many people now that have a, what is it called? Flexible spending account. Like we even accept that because we want people to be able to get healthy. Because in Maryland, I don't know about Virginia, but in Maryland, they even have wellness and weight loss as an option that you can bank money for that. So it's like no reason why people shouldn't be getting healthy. So when people are out here like, oh, fad diets and stuff, where we're trying to teach them like lifestyles, because it's always going to be a party. It's always going to be a graduation. It's
Yep.
always going to be something.
The
So
holidays, they
it's
come
always
every
gonna be
year.
the holidays. So learning how to live within that.
Yeah.
And we sculpt you. So like my aesthetic name is Dom the Sculptress, right? So we sculpting bodies, so however you want. That's everybody got a different shape, everybody got a different goal in mind. And it's not about being skinny, right? It's not being about this about being your size healthy and whatever that is,
Yes.
So Dominique, with all the things that you are doing, big question, and I ask this because I'm taking notes because I need to know some ideas. What do you do for yourself to take care of yourself?
That's good. So I am so connected, like to my spirit man. Like I pray. Aside from cycling, I actually honestly haven't been on my bike in a few months for a variety of reasons, just because of business. But I love to sing. I love to worship. I've just asked just to have a deeper relationship with the Lord, because I think being a leader for so many years, I forgot about me. I poured into so many people for so many years that my cup was a little empty. And I'm like looking around like thirsty, looking for a cup. Because once you're at a certain level in leadership, and I know you know that, you just kind of get left up there and you just responsible for everything below. But then you're like, hey, what about me? Like one time I want somebody to say, thanks for making sure my paycheck got in, or something like that. And then it becomes thankless, right? So self-care for me became almost like vital, like life essential. And I started working on personal development, getting a personal development coach, a mental health therapist, having more conversations with my family about, my needs, and not just
That's good.
always taking the mama bear. I'll do it, because nobody wins an award for finishing earlier than the other, So that's what my self-care has been. I pray. I'm on an online community. I found actually an online community through one of my former personal development coach. She was on his platform, and I just connected with him. He lives in Arizona, him and his wife. We met online a couple years ago, just met in person this year, and it is a rich community of people. And we have an encounter every Tuesday through Friday. I start my day with prayer, 8:00 a.m. every morning without fail. And that's one thing I just want to be consistent with, right? Because the Lord has been consistent in blessing me. So I want to really be consistent in, giving him thanks. There's just one thing about me is that, as I tried to manage all these things over these years, time was slipping away because, you work all these hours and all of this stuff. And when the pandemic came, I really had to stop all of that, right? Because the spa closed. I mean, the surgery center I was working at closed down. And when I decided not to go back, I heard the Lord say, you're going to do this and go back to school. And I'm fighting tooth and nail. But I promise you, girl, he has sustained me the entire step of the way. Like you can't walk from a 6-figure job without really a paper plan and still be able to have more than enough to be able to sustain, unless you know that it's something that God wants you to do. So I know this is that being a nurse practitioner is that one little thing. Like I could do what I wanted to do without it, having a master's degree, I can open the doors of a business. But there's that one piece you need to be a medical director to be able to open the doors. And in order for me to do that, I had to go back to school for just a little bit longer. And I'm like, no. And the Lord is like, yes, you are, because I need you to finish this. So there we are. That's how the self-care it's got to happen for me. Self-care.
I need to get better at that. That's why I love to hear how people are committing themselves to
Yeah.
it. I'm still working on trying to find my way, to
Yeah.
be honest with you, because there's just so much to do. And of course, I always have excuses why. But today, my husband was so proud of me. I am not a nail girl. In fact, believe it or not, I'm sort of
Mhm.
tomboyish, really, to be honest, because
Yeah.
I
Me
don't
too.
have time for it. Like I'm building stuff, I'm painting or whatever. In
Mhm.
fact, one year I wanted a drill for my birthday. That's how I roll, right?
Yeah.
So, I today we were both off because Veterans Day, and the
Yes.
kids had to go to school.
Yeah. My daughter too.
Right, so I did something I never do unless it's somebody's wedding or something. I went and got my nails done. I know it seems so small,
No, that's me.
but
I don't get mine done either. So
I don't get my nails done. And I didn't. And the guy said, "What do you want?" I said, "I just want you to just put gel on top of my actual nails so they don't break. Like I don't want anything because I would just ruin
yeah.
it if we were to do
Yeah.
something fancy. Just,
Yeah.
just keep it." But it just felt so good. And the guy was doing my nails, and I evidently was doing this.
Falling asleep.
I was falling asleep. He said, "You okay?" I said, "Oh yeah, just this is lovely,
You
lovely."
loved it. You loved it. You have to do more of it. Those type of self-care pampering things, I'm like you, I'm not that good at. Like I don't like shopping. I don't like any of that stuff. Like my husband shops. Like I
Yeah.
don't like any of that kind of stuff, right? But keeping that like that balance, that harmony for me, because I have so many things going, it's
Mhm.
like if I don't start my day, it's almost like people who start their day with meditation, right? They have
Mhm.
maybe this
Yeah,
thing. So
absolutely.
listen, if the community is not on Tuesday, I'm like, okay, let me put some music on. I love music. So I'm like jamming. Like before you came on, I'm like jamming, whatever to keep
Yes.
your energy high. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you, I heard you say something about excuses, and I wrote this down because I didn't want to forget. If you look for excuses, you will find them.
Yes, Dominique, you
So
are right.
if you look for them, you'll find them. So you gotta start there. Just make
Yeah.
one change in one area and stick with it. Stick with it. Stick with
Mhm.
it. Stick
I
with
love this. This
it.
was so
Yeah.
much fun.
Yes, girl. I'm here for it.
So, but I don't want to keep you all night. And
Yeah.
are you going to go see
Yes.
Friends Forever?
My husband's birthday is tomorrow, and I
Oh,
wanted
happy
to ask.
birthday.
I know I wanted to see if he wanted to go. If he says no, I'm fine. But I'm hoping that he'll say yes.
Girl, we got our tickets after we got our free meal. Well, it wasn't free. After
Yeah.
we got our halfway free
Free
meal,
meal.
because
Yeah.
we got our tickets right away for
I know.
tomorrow because I knew I wasn't going to be doing it tonight. But yeah,
Yeah. I'm
I can't wait.
excited. I'm excited. I'm
Me
excited.
too.
Yeah.
This was so good.
It
Now
was.
listen, we got to do this again in January. You get closer to opening and send me all your links and all that good
Yes,
stuff.
I will. I will. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right. Have a good
Love you, sis.
weekend.
Bye.
Bye.